Now we're driving along Castle Creek, and as you can see, if I can aim toward it here, there are some homes in this area. I think you can see that one down there to the left. I can come on a little farther, but don't drop off. There's one land right there. In old places, old stonework. Really cool. There's some cooler ones up ahead. But yeah, these places are a little more populated, and there's gold to be found, and we're closer to what used to be the river, and Agua Fria, which is no longer Fria. It is Lake Pleasant. Yeah, I actually think it'd be cool to live in a place like that down there. What do you? He's got a red sign down there with a gun on it, so that probably doesn't like customers. He probably doesn't like visitors very much. And now we're going to drive in this for a while. Oh, wait, what's that ahead? Something seems out of place here. Oh yeah, but look at this too. Look at these rocks up here. Oh man. Let's twist the camera around here. Oh, look at that. Oh. Nice, huh? Okay, back around. And we're gonna go forward some more, but something's out of place up there. I think you should be able to see what's out of place up there. Unfortunately, we can't go in and actually visit. But it is what it is. This is Castle Hot Springs Resort, and it is for sale, which would be pretty cool to own. Sotheby's, London. Well, I'll bet you that's a few dollars. All these old stones along here, this is cool. They've been redone. They were hand stacked. They were redone. But see these palm trees up here, and there's a trail that goes up behind there with it. You see the palm trees farther back in. And there's a resort here with 120-degree water coming out of this active volcano area here. I don't know. I'm sure the gate's shut, so we can't go in there and look. But this used to be the resort. Let me get this thing loose. Get a window down for you. These are some of the older buildings. Isn't this something? And back when I first came here, these palms were healthy. It was well taken care of. It was run. And they've got trails that run up the back side. And there's also a spring here, I do believe. The bathhouse. And they have other ones as you go up. And this is the Castle Hot Springs Resort. It was a pretty fancy place in the stay. It really was. But this trail goes up back to the private springs or whatever, where people would go and, you know, whatever the private ones. Anyway, you can see right up there where those trees are, and up top, the spring is up there. So I bet them here in the picture. It's really in the picture a lot. And there's more buildings over on this other side. I don't know if you can see them. Let's see. Can't really see anything over here. But there are buildings back in there too. But I really can't take you back there and show them because it's all on private property. And if we start getting back in there, we'll get ourselves in trouble. See if at the top up here, I do believe. Up we go. Oh, keep up. And you can see some of the older buildings down here too. Just a cool place, my friends. Just a piece of history there, huh? Yeah, I can't really stop here and show you because this is a busy road. You see more palm trees down here. This is more of the resort. It was a pretty cool place back in the day. This whole area was a resort community or whatever. It's pretty active. And there was several other buildings. The buildings are gone. I've always wanted to, ooh, look at this hole. Ooh. Four-wheel drive. Wouldn't make it through here with a car very good. Ooh. It'd be kind of neat to own this and just be able to revive it at the cost. And probably laws are different now too for the usage of the springs. Oh no, pretty cool. But the trees and stuff are still alive because of course springs are still springs and they're running. Very cool. That was Castle Hot Springs. Named after these mountains to the right, which are called the Castle Mountains because they look like castle. I guess some folks would think this is a boring movie. I'm sorry if you feel that way, but how can one be bored with this to look at? And you see there's other people up here. A lot of Jeep clubs run these roads. It's nice because you don't have to run front plates in Arizona, so I don't have to worry about hiding license plates. How about that? 12.5 miles per hour. Why 12.5? Well, because it's an extra half a mile an hour don't get you. I guess. I don't know. This area looks good for gold too. And we're still in good gold country. It's just so rugged. So rugged. And they definitely have that area blocked off, don't they? Because that's the entrance to one of the spring areas, and they don't want people in there. Yeah. And you'll see a lot more people when you start getting down here. You can see the roofs of the old houses. A lot of these homes have been here for 100 years or more. Believe it or not, the mailman from Morristown still drives this 30-mile route every single day to deliver mail. Just look at these mountains. You talk about living off-grid, you people out there that are off-grid living lovers. You buy you a chunk of land out here, and there's a lot of it for sale, and you're off-grid. And there's water out here. If you pick a spot wisely, you would have water. And my grandfather told me something a long time ago, and I stuck to my head. We used to fish on a pier a lot in Charlevoix, Michigan. There's a pier there by the old fish hatchery. We fished out there a lot. I've never seen these tanks before. This is all new. But anyway, we fished out there a lot, and he told me always go to the most hospitable place you can go if something really bad happens, because nobody else is going to go there. And here's Castle Hot Springs, the actual resort itself. Now, this part of the resort is in mighty fine shape. I don't know if the whole thing's for sale or if the part for sale is just the older part of it, the older section. I really just don't know. I imagine a person could look it up and find out pretty easy. But this place is incredible. And I'm actually going to get out here and take a few pictures for you because it's just worth looking at. I don't know if they'll let me though. You got security here always. But here's the actual resort. Let me get this thing loose. Yeah, there you go. Castle Hot Springs Resort. And those springs are still, you can still go in there and sit in those hot springs. Enjoy yourself. It's an absolutely beautiful area. And we're driving back into Castle Creek here. It's a popular hiking area too, so I mean you can come up here and hike and mess around. But you cannot go in from what I showed you back there, the more rundown area, to this area up here. This area has actually been revived. Yeah, pretty sure people still stay here and it's still operating. The part behind, but we got to before, half mile up the road, that one's shut down. It's been shut down for quite a while. But this is still open. And again, they got different sets of springs where you can go. They got rooms up there. You can see, stay in a room. Looks like they grow their own veggies even. And another motel part right over here. Isn't that something? That's Castle Hot Springs. We're 20 miles out in the desert. Nice greenhouse right there. Check that greenhouse out. It's a very special place, my friends. Nice drive. Just come to see. I wish I knew more about it to tell you, but you can look it up. It's all online. Now we're cruising along Castle Creek, and this is the road that'll take us to Lake Pleasant. Actually, there's a lot more people living along here. It's a lot of off-grid people. There's a guy out here who's been building a rock wall for 60 years by himself, but there's a lot of people living out here still. School bus comes out here. But we're still pretty far off grid. But I do see power lines now. Those weren't here just 10 years ago, I don't think. So you have power here now. Lots of bad bumps here, sorry for the noise. I've widened the truck up quite a bit. It'd really be right on if I hadn't gotten that front end fixed. But we're still on the property owned by the people that own Castle Hot Springs. A good part of it right around in here. Okay, Cattle Knot Springs, that place is called. Cattle Hot Springs. We got houses up here on the left. And here comes some buggies, so I'm going to turn back on later. A little less bumpy here. Still plenty bumpy. That water tears these roads up. The graders come through, they grade them, and it rains again and it's tore back up. big old rock up ahead is going to fall right off there one day, isn't it? You see it's cracked all the way around. Yeah, that's going to fall. Clean out the next few minutes. Well, the turf changed again. Still bumpy. Still very bumpy. But big jagged mountains are gone. We're into some pretty well eroded stuff now. And we're not that far from Lake Pleasant, which was formerly the Agua River. And I'll turn the camera on a little bit. There's not much to see here, and it's pretty bumpy. And for those with a keen eye, if you look up ahead, you see Lake Pleasant. That's a big one. I don't know how full it is right now, but it's a reservoir. It's a mighty big lake and mighty good fishing. I think one of the, might be Bartlett Lake, but I might be wrong, but I think it might be Lake Pleasant and a 76-pound flathead catfish, record for the state was found caught and released. And we're back in gold country, of course. And so it's a mixture of private land and BLM and state land and whatnot in here. You have to always be aware of where you are if you're getting out of your vehicle, because some people don't like you on their property. They've got that right if they own it. Well, you can see the lake up there plain as day. You'll really be able to see it in a minute. So it shines like a jewel out in the middle of the desert. And a lot of volcanic material in here, a lot of sedimentary material mixed in with it. This is a bizarre event, a couple of events geologically, from what I've told. So, yeah, it's a pretty cool area. And the gold in some of these creeks up here are in sedimentary bedding, where the round rocks have been knocked out, so it makes little pockets. And the pockets would catch the heavies. The old timers just clean out these little pockets and find handfuls of nuggets. You know how you do that? You find handfuls of bullets, shotgun BBs, stuff like that. So they're still doing their job, but they're catching the wrong things. We're pretty high now. Remember, we're way back there. And there's the lake. Okay, there's a good look at the lake off to your left there. That's Lake Pleasant. Beautiful lake. We're going to go drive right past it, back out to the highway, and back on home to Morristown. But yeah, that's Lake Pleasant. Let's go have a look at it. This is the lower end of the lake here. Yeah, there's gonna be some traffic up here. We're by the lake, and it's a weekend, so it's bumpy. I'll rattle this old Ford back, this old Chevy back apart. Just got it all put back together again. A lot of burros up there. I'll turn back on a little bit here. Wow, pavement. That was the loop. Alrighty, what happens right here is if you go straight, you go into Lake Pleasant, you pay, and you go in there and you see the lake. If you go right, you go back to my house, and we're going right. Lake Pleasant's a beautiful park. I highly recommend you go there someday. Fishing's great. Some of the best fishing in the state of Arizona. And that was our tour today of Castle Hot Springs Road, and just the sights and the views along the way. And I'm going to sight and view my way back home now and relax the rest of the day and spend some time editing, I would guess, from this long one. But I was really glad to go with you folks and show you the area. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to try to do some more of these. Let me know in the comments if you like this video or not. And I'm going to do a bunch of this type of video because there's so much to see in this state, and I think it needs to be shared, and I think I got a unique way I can share it, so that's what I'm doing. So anyway, my friends, like, subscribe, ring the bell. Nugget, you're out.